Hello, all, and welcome to another episode of So You're Living in a Simulation. I'm your hostess, Jolie, aka your one black friend. I've just got back from a hike, if you can't tell, right? Hair's sweaty, I'm sweaty, no makeup. But it was more important that I said what was in my head and recorded it for posterity than for me to go through all of the steps of hair, makeup, showering, even. I will shower, don't worry, but it was important that I execute this function first, which is it's in my mind, needs to be recorded and put out. Because sometimes we get caught up in the bullshit. We get caught up in the no, it has to be like this first. Things have to be perfect. And then sometimes you lose opportunities. You miss out on opportunities because you're pursuing perfection. So I said, fuck it. I've got to say what I need to say. These were realizations that came to me yesterday. I was having a conversation with my cousin, and then they got cemented even more on my walk today. See, walking has a way of really getting ideas percolating. They actually recommend that walking in terms of helping your mind release dopamine, helping your mind release serotonin. And obviously, it's good for your heart health and health overall and your sense of well being. So I've actually, for the past 2 months or so, started walking daily with my partner for, let's say, about anywhere from 3.5 to 4 miles every day. And I'm telling you, it has done wonders not only for my sense of accomplishment, for starting my day off, but also overall for my mental health and well being. And oddly enough, my confidence, believe it or not. But that's another conversation. Today, we're going to talk about what are the thoughts that I had both on my walk yesterday that cemented and crystallized today. Now, do with this information what you will. I am the messenger. Stop watching. I don't particularly care. But the information is to be delivered to you. If you're watching it right now, the message was meant for you. What you decide to do with the message, either here or there, but here it goes. It's about money, first and foremost, primarily, and how ubiquitous money is. I'll say that again. Money is absolutely ubiquitous. Money is easy to make. Money is absolutely ubiquitous, and money is easy to make. It's everywhere, and they print it, and it's backed by nothing. We have fiat money now. It is backed simply by the beliefs that we have in it. Is that going to change within the next 5 to 10 years? Maybe, but guess what? That is the truth, and that is the fact of the matter right now. It is ubiquitous. Whenever they need more of it, they can just print it. We've seen them do it, and they did it during COVID over the last 3 years. And now, of course, we are dealing with the repercussions of that, right? Because, well, once you have too much of it floating in the system, it leads to inflation. People start to kind of wake up. This is my definition or redefinition of inflation. People waking up and realizing, like, wait, y'all are just printing this, right? And then they demand more and more and more for their goods or the services. And then the feds come in and they go, wait, we've got to stop that. The illusion that this is worth something is starting to crack. So let's make things a little difficult. They raise interest rates. They try to slow things down. They kind of, in a way, make people suffer a little bit, but that makes them scared. And then if they're scared, then they can't spend money. And if they're not spending money, there's less money in circulation. They're not borrowing money because the interest rates are too high. So that fear constricts things, then it allows them to maintain the control of it. This is a redefinition. If you want to understand what fiat money is, please look it up. If you want to understand what inflation is properly in technical terms, please look it up. But there's a psychology behind this, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you in layman's terms, in casual terms, in easy terms. Money is ubiquitous. Now, why doesn't everybody have it? Because you have been conditioned from a very young age to believe that it is not ubiquitous, that money is hard to earn, that you must work hard for money. Let me tell you something about people who have a lot of money. I promise you, they're not working hard for it. In fact, the more money you earn, the less work you actually do. I'll say that again. The more money you earn, the less work you're actually doing to earn it. Think about the average gardener. They get up 5 o'clock in the morning and they are working hard. They are carrying things on their body. They are in the heat. They are shearing, they are cutting, they are mowing, they are essentially even risking their life and limbs. If they're working in huge fields, for example, there's rattlesnakes there, this, then the other. These people are working hard. And a lot of the time, their ability to earn is capped. Doesn't matter how hard you work as a gardener, at the end of the day, you are not going to become a millionaire working on the fields. When you pick a particular field of work, your earning is automatically capped by the job you choose. Choose wisely. If you're working as a maid, you can be the best maid ever. Whether you're the worst or the best, at the end of the day, your earning potential is capped. No one's going to pay you $1 million to be a maid. If you are a driver, no one's going to pay you $1 million to be a driver. Do you want to be a millionaire? If not, then nothing that I'm saying matters. Turn it off or listen for entertainment. But if you believe that working hard is going to get you to a position where you don't have to work hard anymore, take a step back and ask yourself, what am I doing right now? And is my earning potential capped? Am I limiting myself by the work that I'm doing right now? Are the limits inherently programmed in by the work that I'm doing right now? Money is ubiquitous. The reason why society works the way it does, the reason why the economy in a capitalistic society works the way that it does is because it needs the majority of people to believe that money is hard to earn and that you must work hard to earn it. I'm not talking about doing illegal shit. I'm just saying in general, that is our understanding. And that belief is what keeps capitalism going. It's that your belief that an hour of your life is worth $20, an hour of your life. And I'm talking about people in America. I'm not talking about in other countries where the standard of living is different or the quality of living is different, or most importantly, the costs of living is different. Because I think some people forget that us living in the States, they look at how much we earn and they go, my gosh, you're making $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 a year. That's a lot of money. And so I think people who live in other countries go, well, they're earning so much. Yes, we are earning a lot here, but we're also spending a lot to live. Like, yes, you're making $50,000 a year, but your mortgage for a home you don't own and that you will be paying down for the next 30 years at home to be somewhere decent is costing anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000 for 30 years with an interest rate of anywhere from 5 to 7%. That is going to take a considerable amount of your monthly income to pay. So yes, if you're making 50, 60, 70,000, $100,000 a year, but you've got a mortgage of 200,000, that's about half of your earnings, roughly, not only to own the house, because most people cannot afford to pay for their house outright. Most people don't have savings. You're kept on this recurring sort of a hamster wheel, but to maintain and own the house, not just the mortgage. That's why I said half of your earnings is going towards the maintenance of that house, not just your mortgage. You got to pay the electricity, you got to pay your water bill, you got to pay taxes on that as well. Not to mention all these other things that may come up. Maintenance, right? Things breaking down, insurance, right? Half, if not more than half of what you earn is going just to put a roof over your head. Whereas in other countries, most people are living with other members of their family. Most people are living in homes that have been passed down from past generations. We don't really have that here. It's the mega wealthy that have that. The average person doesn't. They have parents that are still trying to pay their mortgage. Parents aren't often able to pass homes down to their children. So their children have their own mortgage. Death pledge is what the word mortgage means. It's a death pledge. It's the etymology of the word. Okay. So let's not look at how much we're earning and let's look at how much we're actually spending in order to just basically like stay alive, exist, right? So I think that's part of the issue. People look and they're not realizing that what you earn versus what you're keeping are two different things. If I make $500,000 a year, but I'm spending $600,000 a year, or I'm spending some $500,010 a year to survive, I'm broke. I'm broke. That's not, it doesn't matter how much you're earning. That's the illusion. You're just getting this title, right? It's like in the TV show Billions. I forget his name. I think his name was Ben Kim. He was promised not a raise, like a fiscal raise. They just gave him a title. So he got to go home and tell his parents, well, I've got promoted and here's just this label. Everybody else was getting like a financial raise, like they were giving him more money. Whereas Axe felt that he would be able to get away with giving him nothing, but just a title. Title doesn't mean shit. Yeah. You making $500,000, you get the title of being able to say, I make $250,000, I make $500,000. But if you're spending $500,000 just to exist in a house that's too expensive, driving cars that are too expensive, and too expensive in the sense of what do you have left after the month is over? That's just a title. You're just boosting around being able to say, I make $500,000. That's nothing. You'd be better off with maybe less, but owning your own home. I'm not saying that you should accept less. I'm saying the title doesn't matter if you have nothing really to show for it but debt. And how many people are too focused on the title of what they earn and not on the debt that they're in order to maintain that title of I earn $500,000 or $250,000 or I earn six figures, because you're not really earning that if you're in debt out of your eyeballs. And in fact, your debt is more than what you're bringing in. That includes absolutely the mortgage. See, if fiat isn't real, money isn't real, right? Cash money isn't real. It's paper. It's absolutely paper. Ask ChatGPT, quote me. It depends on the value we place on it, along with everything else. So the people who exploit you, and I'm not saying that they're doing this consciously. So this is not a haves versus have-nots conversation. Absolutely not. I'd be the first person to tell you I'm capitalist. I like money. The point of this is to get you to understand that you need to like money. And more importantly, you need to get yourself in the mindset where you don't value money in this place where you've put it on a pedestal, like this is something that is hard to earn. It's not. It is not, it's not, it's not. In order for your wages and your labor to be exploited, I need to put you in an institution and program into your head from the age of 5 that money is hard to earn and that you need to work hard for it. Somehow, if I can convince you that it's like declawing a tiger or defanging a wolf, over time, you'll mentally be in a situation where you might be this big and bad, but you literally can't do anything about the situation. Meanwhile, me, if I'm a millionaire, if I'm a billionaire, right? Once I move however I need to move, because these people here are millionaires and billionaires. I'm talking multimillionaires. I'm not talking about people who did well as entrepreneurs. I'm talking about the so-called elites. They're not actual elite. They're just people who moved in the right spaces, had the right connections, and there we have it, right? These people have money that's literally just making them money. They parked it somewhere. Once you hit a certain amount, just the interest alone is enough for you to live off of and survive without breaking a sweat. They can wake up, look, they've got money. If you had $1 billion, you can make $100 million a year without doing anything. I need you to sit with that. Most of the people who earn or have money, that what we consider the elites, are not working. They're not working hard. This concept of hard work is not for them. It's something that they need to convince you of. And they may not be directly capitalizing on your work, but they are capitalizing on your work, on the fruits of your labor. Once again, I'm a capitalist. I'm not a socialist, I'm not a communist. I'm a capitalist. But you guys need to understand. And I think that's the beauty of this podcast, and hopefully it stays this way actually, is that it's very few people actually listening to a lot of what I'm saying. And I almost wonder if it's not by design. This information isn't meant for everybody. And I'm almost curious as to the fact that if I do reach a point where I start to develop a large following, I may have to take a step back because this information isn't meant for the masses. You guys know this. In order for the system to continue the way it is, it's like money, you know, a few people knowing that it's fiat, well, they're able to sort of move however they need to move, right? They're not afraid of it. They're not, they've not put it on a pedestal. They've not honored it. They just understand that this is a tool. When I need it, I'm going to go make it. If I need more, I'm going to figure out what I need to do to use it, to make it. But in order for that system to work, in order for the few to sort of, I don't know how else to say this, exploit the many, and I'm not saying I'm encouraging you to do that. I'm saying this is what is happening. The many have to stay ignorant by design. They are programmed to be ignorant. This information is not going to get out for the masses. It's not meant for the masses. In fact, when my videos blow up and it reaches people who have no idea what I'm talking about, you could tell by the comments that this is going over their head. They don't understand the value of it. So if you are tuned in, get this information because it's meant for the few. If I am equal to you, all men are equal in a way. I just need to convince you that you're not equal to me. Let's say I've got $100 billion in my bank account. Typically, it wouldn't be in my bank account, but you know what I mean? Like if I've got a net worth of $100 billion, you are equal to me, right? But I need to convince you that I'm superior. And so the structure of society has been framed in a way where we value people simply because they have money, which is nothing. Money is ubiquitous. Money isn't real. The emperor has on no clothes, but we venerate people like Elon Musk. We venerate people like the people who are members of the WEF. They call themselves elites. They tell themselves that they have the right to decide how the rest of us have and will live. Why? Based on what? Just your ability to acquire the most amount of fiat, which is paper. The emperor has no clothes. If they actually matter, they would have maybe at this point used AI, for example, to sift through the 8 billion humans on this planet and find the ones who actually are more valuable because of the way they think, because of the way they treat people, because of the way they approach life. These are things that actually matter, not how much money you've been able to acquire or was passed down to you because of nepotism and generational wealth. But once again, these so-called elites, that's something that they value, is just have you acquired enough paper? And they call themselves elites, but these aren't, they're just, once again, it's this, what is this sorting? Who's deciding this? It's a stupid arbitrary marker of value, but they've programmed this into our materialistic society, into a capitalistic society, that whoever has the most capital has power, is worth listening to. Why the fuck does Bill Gates have the sort of power that he has? Because he's acquired the most capital based on luck. This guy's a high school dropout. He was at the right place at the right time. Don't quote me. Go read Outliers. I'm not the one who's coming to the conclusion, right? Get the other book that basically says the same thing, right? It was like Game Makers or Game Changers, one of these books that come out every 5 years or so, that they sell you this promise of what do these people have that you don't? And you go and you buy the book, and then what they give you is there's nothing. Actually, they were just fucking lucky. They happen to be at the right place at the right time. It's luck. It's luck in a particular mindset, because this mindset gets kind of comes into place when you're immersed in a particular group or in a particular setting. You start to realize, like, wait, money is ubiquitous. And that's the mindset that I'm trying to impart to you, because I've spent time talking to these people and listening to these people. And I'm not even saying that they're moving in this way consciously. I'm telling you the reason why we venerate money is because we've been programmed with this sense of lack. The reason why they don't venerate money, and they'll be the first to tell you that money can't buy happiness. Okay, but it can buy a fucking yacht. You don't seem depressed on your fucking yacht. Come on now. The reason why they say that is because they're operating from a space of abundance. Now, my thing is, I'm trying to get you to trigger that mindset of abundance now. Trigger that mindset of abundance now, and understand that even the animals don't hoard. I'm not saying don't have savings. I'm saying, listen to this though. Animals operate from a space of abundance. A wolf goes out to hunt, knowing that it will find prey. It might take time, but it knows that prey is abundant. A bee leaves its hive knowing that it will find flowers and nectar. All of these creatures operate from a space of abundance except for mankind. And that mindset is unnatural. It's something that you have been instilled with and programmed with. And I'm trying to shake you out of that mindset. Money is ubiquitous. It is not hard to earn money. The top earners are making money doing literally nothing, doing the least. I promise you, the harder you work at something, the less you will make. I'm not saying don't work hard, but do it because you enjoy hard work, not because you think by working harder, you'll earn more. Rewind that last second sentence about 30 seconds and repeat it, because you need to hear that. Money is ubiquitous. It is not hard to make money. I've talked to people who are employees, and they've been employees their whole life. They're actually employees in finance, in the banking field, and they are completely comfortable, secure in the space of being able to earn a paycheck, because they're living cautiously, right? They like the security of a paycheck. I actually had somebody I had a conversation with, and they were telling me how, like, well, they got hired by a hedge fund, and the person who hired them that owned the hedge fund was like 30 something years old. And they said, I reminded them of this hedge fund owner. And this person I'm speaking to was like a proper adult, like in their 40s, like 40s, almost 50. And my mind was like, why are you an employee taking a paycheck? When you work in finance, you know how to make money. But if you're working under somebody who's making millions of dollars to your 100,000, why is that? Why are you earning hundreds of thousands? Let's just say $300,000, if that. Why are you earning 300,000? That's not even counting like once you get hit with those taxes. Why are you earning that when somebody who's much younger than you is earning millions of dollars, but you know the same thing? You're equal. Remember, keep looking at my hands, you're equal. You're doing the same thing. It's just one person valued. I don't even know how I'm trying to say this. Maybe the ability to earn more over the promise of security. So what you pay for in what you're in what you're buying with security is more expensive than you realize. I feel like you should write that down. Security, I don't have my pen with me. Like, I went for a reach for a pen. Security is more expensive than you realize. I'm not saying don't be secure, right? Move how you need to move. And there's different ways to be secure, right? Maybe don't buy that super expensive house to impress your friends. Buy the house that you can actually afford. You can be secure, but there's a weird space where people confuse like being able to flex on their friends, right? That expensive car and everything. They value that over true security. Maybe this younger guy who owned the hedge fund valued being able to earn 15 times more than the average person who's working under them, right? Anywhere from 4 times to 15 times, depending. They have the same knowledge base, but this person took a risk and decided to bet on themselves, knowing that they could possibly fail, and started their own fund. And as a result, they are being rewarded 10 times over than the person who decided to continue work as an employee. I'm not saying either path is right or wrong. I'm saying there's a lesson here. Take the lesson. If you choose 100% security, please understand that this person here still probably has the security of other things. They just decided to bet on themselves. I'm telling you, if a person owns a hedge fund, they're not just like living in the, the mortgage. I'm sure that they took the steps necessary, but maybe they went and they took out a loan to start the hedge fund. Whereas this person here was like, I'm not willing to take that risk. And that's fine. But fortune favors the bold. Scared money don't make money. And it's funny because the conversation I had with this person, they were saying to me that like when they work, right? So they invest other people's money. For funds, like that's their job. They take cautious approaches and sometimes they take educated approaches and sometimes they make intuitive approaches. But even with being as careful as you possibly can, they still take L's. Please understand that you choosing security is no guarantee that you're not going to take L's. If you're brave or you're cautious, you're still gonna take L's. It's just those who move with bravery have greater gains than those who move with caution. I'm not saying go balls out. Hear what I'm saying. Welcome to the simulation. These are the rules. Hear what I'm saying. Read between the lines. Scared money don't make money. Fortune favors the brave. There's a reason why people who are entrepreneurs are also people who encompass, I think, the majority of like millionaires in this country. Those are people who put their money where their mouth is and they took a risk and they bet on themselves. This is rich dad, poor dad. You're not going to get rich working a 9 to 5 on a fixed income, on a salary, hoping that at some point, like, yeah, you get your pension or whatever. And then like that, obviously it's common sense. It's not going to happen. If you go, you know what, I'm going to put aside a certain amount of money every year or every month until, for 30 years from now, and then I'll become a millionaire. That's fine. You do that. But do you understand that 30 years from now, that $1 million that you get to call yourself, there's that title again that you're working towards. You get to call yourself a millionaire, but that million is going to be worth 400,000 because inflation is a thing. Hello. Hello. This thing on. Right. These people play with time. They play with time the way we can't even conceptualize. And they have a different understanding of fear. I've said this before on an episode, and it's worth revisiting. I've talked about fear. We were walking today, and my partner and I came across like what appeared to be like coyote feces on the trail. And there's a lot of it, which means there's a lot of coyotes. And at first, I had this natural sort of inclination to be afraid. And then I had a funny thought. I asked my husband, I said, if you cook something with rabies, will the cooking get rid of the rabies? And he was like, I have never had to think of that question before. I don't know what the answer to that is. Why are you asking that? And see, this is how my mind is now changing because what happened first, I saw the feces on the trail and I was afraid. But then I thought, well, can I eat it? And very quickly, the thing that I was afraid of quickly changed in my mind from prey, or from predator rather, to prey. So I wasn't asking if I could eat the feces, by the way. I was asking if I could eat what produced the feces, which is coyote, right? So that changes my mindset. If you're walking down the street and you are approached by something, your mindset is fear. A way to quickly shift gears in your mind for that thing to become not something you're afraid of, but something you can benefit from is, can I eat it? And all of a sudden, your mindset changes. So somehow my brain looked at that and was like, well, can you eat a coyote? Because now all of a sudden I'm not afraid of coyote anymore. I'm not going to hunt coyotes, guys. I'm just saying it was more of the exercise of this is how my brain works, right? Suddenly the world isn't scary if anything that you're afraid of is what can you eat. And that's the power of mankind, right? You took the woolly mammoth, which on your own could be a threat to you, but with other people, you group it together, you ask the question, can I eat this? Can I sell this? Can I profit from this? Can I benefit from this? And that's the power of capitalism, which is why I'm not anything but a capitalist. I understand that mindset change can make you a different beast, can make you an animal, can turn. Imagine you've got rabbits that kind of run around, they're afraid because they're prey and they're being chased by these things. But imagine if collectively all of the rabbits go, wait, can we eat a snake? And now they start working together. Very quickly, the snake turns from predator to prey. It's not the animal that it's inherently something you should be afraid of. It's your mindset. Mindset is important. Ask, can you eat it? Now, the next sentence I'm about to say is going to sound fucked up, but you take it for what I'm saying. Trust me, I know the things I say sound wild, but I understand that the people I'm talking to understand what I mean. The people who were able to benefit from something as fucked up as a worldwide pandemic, depending on your mindset, right? If you believe it's a pandemic or if you believe it was an accident and they saw an opportunity and they took advantage of it, ask that same question. Can I eat this? Can I benefit from it? And 100%, they absolutely did benefit from it. And this is the mindset of sociopaths. I talked about this last episode. Empaths, get your shit together. It's absolutely a battle between empaths and narcissists. And it's the narcissist fucking sociopaths that are looking out for themselves. And number one, you cannot help society unless you pull some of their abilities from them and then you use your heart to make society a better place, because they're out there looking at situations and saying, how can I eat this? How can I benefit from this? This is going to happen regardless. How can I benefit from them? They're from this. This is what they're doing. Go and look it up. Look up how many billionaires were made during the pandemic. I'm not saying that this is a good thing. I'm saying this is a mindset that you can pull in and you can use on your day-to-day lives. There are wolves amongst us, and maybe you're a sheep, but maybe you don't want to be a sheep your entire fucking life. And maybe sometimes sheep band together and go away, fuck these wolves. Anything they can do, we could do better. And then when we do things better, we can actually use it for the greater good. It reminds me of a scene from Billions. They were coming for Axe Capital and Axe specifically, because when the first plane was hit, he used that he saw the opportunity and he asked the question basically, can I eat this? Can I eat it? Right? And he started shorting planes and I think like hospitality, because he figured, okay, he wasn't even thinking this was a terrorist attack. He just thought, well, a plane flew into a building. That's what he was thinking. He didn't think beyond that. And because of the way his mind works, his mind is programmed as a sociopath. And he even asked Wendy this. He asked her, he said, am I a sociopath? And she said, you're something in between. Because sociopaths don't ask that question. They don't actually care. And he does care. It's a different way of thinking. And I'm saying, like, that's the purpose of these sort of podcasts, when I say, are you living in a simulation? Or I say, so you're living in a simulation, we're taking the mindset of what if this is a fucking game? And I've shown evidence, at least to the best of my ability, that more than likely it is. And more, we're seeing that something seems off. Okay. What's the next step? Are you going to be afraid? Are you going to look up and say, woe's me? Or are you going to figure out ways in which to work within the confines of it? It's why I can sit down with my hair and no makeup and record a podcast and not give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. If you're too busy looking at what's going on here and not what's coming out of my mouth, that is your problem. It's nothing to do with me. That is your loss. You take the information or you don't. If you don't take it, it's not meant for you. Suffer. I don't know what else to tell you. But a fool looks at a finger that's pointed to the moon. Hear what I'm saying, not the presentation. Can you learn from what society calls sociopaths? And are they actually sociopaths, or have they gotten a bad rap? Are certain behaviors, these opportunistic, being able to sort of be ambitious, to look out for your own, to face fear and convert it, alchemy? Alchemy, by the very definition of the word, if your mind works like that, are these people truly sociopaths? Are there people that are considering themselves sociopaths, but simply just look at things differently? And is that behavior something that is discouraged by those who shepherd our society in order to make it so that the majority of people are able to be shepherded, to declaw and defang? Think about it. Because what we learned during the pandemic is these people kept coming out and coming out with rules, and then they were breaking the rules that they were coming out with. Like the governor of California was like shutting down restaurants, but he kept his restaurant open, didn't wear a mask, right? They showed pictures of these guys in groups, like sort of private booths at sports events. Nobody was wearing masks, but they were telling us to social distance. They were telling us to wear masks. They were telling us to shut down our businesses, but they weren't doing the same thing. Is this idea where they make rules for us that they don't follow and they had no intention at all to follow, is it meant to keep their circle close and small and keep the rest of us out? Because if most people actually heard this podcast, took into consideration what I'm saying, and then internalized the information, all of a sudden there's going to be an issue, right? What do you mean I don't have to be afraid? What do you mean money is ubiquitous? What do you mean I should take a leap of faith and do what I want? With reason, of course. Because they need people dependent on that paycheck to paycheck cycle. They need people pursuing debt. They need you there. They need people in debt. They need people trying to keep up with the Joneses. They need people spending, what is it, $2,000 on a purse that costs $100, $50, maybe even $10 to make in order to impress other people. That's how the situation, that's how it works. That's how the circle goes. If I can convince you to sell me an hour of your life for this amount, if I can convince you to value driving this car with this particular logo that does nothing more than this car with this particular logo except pull you further into debt, then I can invest in that company and see the value of my investment raised. Because what that measure is, it's more on how many people have we convinced to value all of this bullshit. It's a psyops. You need to hear me. Money is ubiquitous. It is not hard to earn. It just takes courage and you getting out of the space of fear. But how many people are living afraid? And I ask you something that you should ask yourself. What the fuck are you afraid of, actually? And how has fear ever served you more than confidence, by the way? Because here's the thing. You can be afraid, like you could be walking, you could be afraid, oh my gosh, I'm going to get attacked by a coyote. Or you could arm yourself with the confidence that should I be attacked by a coyote, I can defend myself. Because what the fuck is fear doing for you? See, if I'm moving from a space of confidence and I'm going in a situation where I know I could be attacked by a coyote, I'm going to take with me a weapon. Now I'm not moving with fear anymore. I'm moving with awareness, right? Caution, maybe, but not fear, because I have confidence. I know that should anything attack, I know how to defend myself. And that energy is different, feels different, it sounds different. You carry yourself different when you're moving from a space of fear. I'm not saying don't ever be afraid because almost it's an impulse. You can't stop it when it happens. If something pops up and you're like, I'm afraid, take that, but don't marinate in fear. Take that fear, use that as a trigger and go, okay, how can I put myself in a position where this thing that I'm afraid of, I'm no longer afraid of. I can deal with it. How can I deal with this? Can I eat it? Can I sell it? Can I benefit from this somehow? And now you've taken that fear and used that as a trigger. Fear was only meant to be a trigger. It's supposed to be a warning. It's like when you're driving your car and the car goes beep, beep. You call that fear. It's not, it's an alert. You as a driver might be startled, but then you go, okay, well, let's swerve this way. You know what the fuck you're doing. You only become marinated in that fear if you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to steer, how to move out of the way, which is why knowledge is power. Low. By gaining the knowledge, this happens, I know to do this. You become empowered. That fear is only an initial trigger, it's like a warning. Then you empower yourself. Then you ask the question, can I eat it? If you can't eat it, then can I at least marginally avoid this thing without it becoming a threat to myself? It's a different mindset. Absolutely a different mindset. But if you want to make it in this game, you have to absolutely deprogram yourself from the mindset that you find yourself echoing. If you're believing the same shit that every other person believes, cool, you've been successfully programmed. I'll say that again. If you find yourself saying and believing and wanting and desiring the same exact shit that other people want and crave and desire and are aspiring towards, and then that's not your desire, that is your programming. It's a slave mentality. You're a slave. I like the term. It's something I picked up from, I think, the writings of Seneca the Younger. It's also in the book, The Practicing Stoic. That's what Stoics would say. They always compared people to slaves because that was the word that was enabled to wake you up and go, wait, what am I doing? Most people are slaves. It's just new slaves, as Kanye put it, right? Sell you chains, jewelry. You think by wearing that, like you're somehow you're able to impress other people and say you're rich. It's just another type of slavery. Why do you care what other people think about you? You see how you're imprisoned by the fucks you give? You see how you're imprisoned by the fucks you give? I'm going to go back to the point of this episode. Money is ubiquitous. It is not hard to make. It is not hard to make, but make sure that whatever work you're doing and you're willing to pay with your time, to put time in, make sure that before you even start, that you're not capped, that your earning potential isn't capped. But this idea that you need to work hard in order to make money is a lie. You don't need to work hard to make money. Money is ubiquitous. Even people who are literally making money are not working hard to make it. They are printing it. It costs zero energy. It used to be that it was backed by something. You had to go get a fucking mine, dig shit, find it, hope for the best, whatever, shovel shit out, weigh it, wash it off. They're not even doing any of that anymore. They're literally pushing a button, even in your banking system. Like go to your bank. It's just numbers on your screen now. When's the last time you touched cash? It's nothing. It's wild to me how like people like these companies are charging people money for like transferring funds. Oh, I'm going to charge you $3.99 to transfer like $500 for what? You're just pushing a button. You paid somebody 10 cents for a minute of their time to go like this. Now you want me to pay $3.99, but that's because they've convinced you that that's worth it's worth it. So you're paying with hours of your life. You're paying with hours of your life. A friend of mine like went to apply for jobs. I get it. They need work. That's fine. I get it. Do what you need to do. But the starting pay was like 30K a year. And I was like, that's insane. The owner of the company is offering $30,000 to people to spend like 40 hours of their life. That, believe it or not, that 30K with the right investments in the right place, they can make in like an hour. That's assuming they didn't even just borrow the money. And so this thing that they can borrow the money from the bank. They just push buttons, did that, boom. Oh, you approved this. Okay, here's a loan. That all they have to do is just say, oh, sorry, we can't pay it. And they default on the loan. But you've paid with your real life, hours of your life. They're giving you 30K. And the money that they borrowed, because a lot of these corporations aren't using their money. They're financing a lot of it. Bonds, stocks, all of that. They're not, it's just somebody pushing buttons. And you're spending real life hours to earn 30K. That all they did was just say, oh, well, we've got a good credit and this is what we can offer, this, that, and the other. And the bank goes, sure, here you go. And then they get human capital. And human capital is actually what's actually worth more if you don't realize it. But you go, okay, that's fine, whatever. Like I'll take the 30K or I'll take the 50K. Or it's nothing. You're paying with real hours of your life for nothing because you believe that you have to start from the bottom. I got to start at this 30K job. No, the fuck you don't. If you got to start anywhere, why don't you start with a 100K job? I'll leave you with this. So I got to go. I got to shower. Think back. Whenever you're feeling this bullshit called imposter syndrome, think back to the lady who was breakdancing at the Olympics this summer. She had no business doing that. It was just the audacity. That's somebody who understands that this is just a game. She's not taking this shit seriously. The people who are Nepo babies that go and they get because of who knows their father or their mother or who they know, or they're going to the right school, they're not starting off at 30K. They're starting off at 200K, 100K a year. Do you think they're more qualified than you? Let's go back to the hands. No, just them knowing the right person. We're all equal. Just know the right person. And you're starting way over here because in your mind, you believe, well, I got to start from somewhere. Okay, that's fine. If you got to start from somewhere, why do you have to start down here? Apply for that job. Start that business. I'm not saying don't have some sense of security, but don't lose yourself completely in this idea of security because it's not actually security. You can still get fucking fired. Anyway, thanks for watching.